Y'all hear that? It's another breezy day, and we're not under the shade tree at the immediate moment. I'm fixing to go ahead and see about getting the cruise control set up on Ethel. Now that I figured out that there's no issue with the clock spring, went ahead and I pulled out the cruise control module. Hey, knock that off! People can't hear, it gets all windy and stuff. Knock it off! Anyway, I'm gonna see about hooking up the cruise control and see if that won't work. Alrighty, so this connector right here, this one, is going to be the one that plugs into the cruise control box that does all that magical stuff, makes the truck go down the road without having my foot on the gas pedal, if everything's working right. So let me go fish out the other half of this project. Okay, so on the original Dodge truck, this big bubba right here would be underneath the battery box, and then there's a vacuum line right char that goes to the intake manifold, and the throttle cable goes to the throttle body, and that's gonna go plug into this bracket right here and hook on that little pin back in there, and then the vacuum's down here on the side of the intake manifold. So if everything works right, in theory I should be able to go ahead and plug that wire or that connector into this end right here, and everything should work as advertised. We shall see. Alrighty, so I'm limited by two things. Number one is the length of the vacuum line and the throttle cable, and the other is the length of the wire that attaches the control module to the box. Which pretty much means I'm going to have to go ahead and mark me a spot for some holes over here to mount that. That should be free and clear of the hood hinge, but at the same point it'll go ahead and give the box a decent location to go ahead and be out of harm's way, and the wires will still be long enough to go ahead and work without having to extend the harness. Anyhow, that's doggone wind, knock it off! Alright, so there we have it. Got the box mounted up on the modulator, I think that's what it's called, modulator. I got that mounted up on the firewall, on the fender wall there. So see how that works out. And the control, or the vacuum and all that's going to go, I think I'm probably going to go ahead and run that over top of the fan shroud, but below the radiator hose there. Heck, I might even go ahead and zip that thing to the bottom side of the radiator hose. Anyway, we'll see how that works out here in just a moment. Alright, so there we have it. Vacuum line's hooked up, the transmission line, the throttle linkage, whatever's hooked up, module's hooked up. So let's see, the connector that connects the horn button or the cruise control buttons to the harness is all hooked up. That I found that the other day when I went ahead and fixed my horn. So right now, 40% chance it'll work. And the only reason I'm giving myself numbers like that is because I don't know the history of that module over there. I don't know if it's any good or not. I don't know if all the boogering around I've done with the wire harness at this point is going to go ahead and work for me or not. Best guess is that it should, but because I don't have all of the systems hooked up, it may not be happy. And of course, if it's not happy, computer controls are going to do what computer controls are going to do. It's OBD2, so should maybe kind of work, hopefully. If it doesn't work, I've got a whole lot more to figure out just why not. Anyway, I'm going to go get the keys and we're going to fire this baby up and find out what's what. Back in a minute. Alrighty, well, got things warming up here. We're going to try this out and see if it works. The kicker is, okay, yeah, it's hooked up to the factory cruise control switch, it's hooked up to the factory brake light switch, but I don't have a factory dashboard. Yes, this is OBD2, but it's the earlier version, so it did not have the computer controlled transmission. So I'm thinking this will probably work out for me. Fingers crossed, we'll see. Right now I've got, so here's the deal. The computer is for a computer controlled transmission. That might be part of why this isn't going to work. The transmission that's in here right now is 46RH, which is hydraulically controlled. At this point, I haven't swapped in the 46RE yet, but I'm still using the speed sensor. Well, wait, maybe I'm not. Okay, so yeah, this probably isn't going to go ahead and work because I've got an aftermarket speedometer. No. I have an aftermarket speedometer that's programmable, but it's getting its signal from the factory speed sensor. Let's find out, shall we?
More pain and more loss. The only way these millstones no longer mark our national mourning. These milestones, I should say, no longer mark our national mourning.
All right, so one more thought as to why this probably isn't going to work, but I don't know if this is going to be an issue or not. Again, I don't have the factory cruise control. I don't have the factory dashboard in here, and so therefore it doesn't have cruise control lights. I don't know if that circuitry is part of a requirement or not. And I also don't know about the cruise control on-off switch. I don't know if this gear's any good or not, as I haven't had a chance to test it. So we'll find out. Okay, well, like I said, I don't have the factory dashboard in here. Although I did try and go ahead and connect as much as I could through the factory wire harness, but I didn't make any connections for like the on-off button for the cruise control, or at least the dashboard lights for it. So we're gonna find out. I'm gonna get out here on the highway and we're gonna push buttons and see if anything does anything. So if it doesn't work, I'm not gonna be surprised. If it does work, I'll be pleasantly surprised. So we shall see. Something's working. Let's see if I can get it to set now. Maybe, maybe not. Set, and I think that goes back to the question of the transmission being the hydraulically controlled versus electronically controlled. The computer's got to be looking for a signal and it's not getting it, so therefore it's not going to go ahead and actually allow this to go inside of cruise. But one more step in the right direction. All I can do is swap the transmission. Alright, so not for a lack of trying, but we're working with the limitations that we have on hand right now. That being that the transmission that's currently in the truck is a good running transmission. It's just not the one that talks to the computer. And since the transmission doesn't talk to the computer, the cruise control is not going to go ahead and work like we want it to. It does power up, so there is that. We're good there. The switches are all checking good. It's just a matter of we've got to go ahead and have the right transmission in order for things to work like they're supposed to. And so, yeah, whatever. I've got the transmission for it. I just haven't taken the time to swap it in. I've got too many other projects going on right now to take care of that problem, which really hasn't been a problem, but I guess it's a convenience issue. So That being said, the only other thing I could do would be to go ahead and swap in a computer from a 5-speed truck. The cruise control wouldn't be looking for the transmission, but I don't have one of those, and they're not as easy to find as one might think. So I'll just keep working with what I've got. Like I said, I've got the transmission that I need to have installed, and I think that will fix the issue as best as I can tell. Maybe not. I mean, there's entirely possible there's something else I'm not aware of, but that's my best guess, and a lot of this is guesswork. So you know, you take your time, you figure it out. Anyway, y'all have a wonderful afternoon. We'll see you. Be safe, be good to each other. Remember, community, not competition. Check out Coastal Auto Reaction, Roy Marco's Garage, Old Car Guy, Robert's Garage, Straight Six Fan. Come on, give me another one here. Alaskan Trucker. Come on, what was the other one I was watching this morning? I enjoyed it. Oh, come on. I'm drawing a blank. Give me a minute. My Legacy Garage. That's what I was trying to think of. My former neighbor, such as it was. Another guy from Maryland. Anyway, we'll talk to y'all later. Have a good afternoon.